Welcome guys to my new video. In this video I will talk about the making decision in the C programming language, and I will talk about the if else statement and the switch statement. So first of all, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and let's start our lecture. First let's talk about the booleans. Very often in programming, you will need a data type that can only have one of two values, like yes or no, on or off, true or false. For this, C has a bool data type which is known as a booleans. Booleans represent a value that are either true or false. Before trying to print the boolean variables, you should know that the booleans are returned as an integer. Like for example, 1 represents true and 0 represents false. And we need to use the percentage %d format specified because it's an integer. This is all about booleans. In the C language, booleans is represent true or false. Now, what is a decision making? The conditional statement, also known as a decision control structures, such as if else, switch, are used for the decision-making purpose in the C programming language. They are also known as a decision-making statements and are used to evaluate one or more conditions and make the decision whether to execute a set of statements or not. This decision-making statement in programming language decide the direction of the flow of program execution. This is the importance of the decision making. This is the conditional statement in the C programming language. We start with the if else. We have the if. This is the statement of the if else if, and the nested if. We have also the switch. This is the switch expression. Now let's start with the if statement. The if statement is the most simple decision-making statement. It is used to decide whether a certain statement or block of statement will be executed or not. It means if a certain condition is true, then a block of code, block of statement is executed. Look at this flow chart. We start from here. We have a condition. If the condition is true, we execute the condition or the block of statement. If it is false, it not execute the statement. And this is the syntax of the if statement. If we have a condition, for example, if a is greater than 10, for example, and we open the braces and we put the statement to be executed. If the condition is true, it will be executed. If is not true, the condition is not executed. The statement is not executed. This is all about the if statement. Now let's see an example about the if statement. We will start with hashtag include studio, integer main, and integer I. I declared here an integer I equal to 10. And here I need to use the if statement. If the condition here is if I is greater than 15, I need to print 10 is greater than 15. And finally printf. Here the computer, we need to work I equal to 10. It's really 10 is greater than 15. It's false. He print I am not in if. If, for example, I here is equal to 20. 20 is greater than 15. He print 20 is greater than 15. This is all about the if statement. If the condition is true, he print this. this line, and if the condition is not true, he print this line. Now the if-else statement. The if statement alone tells us that if a condition is true, it will be execute a block of statements, and if the condition is false, it won't. But what if we want to do something else when the condition is false? Where comes the else statement? We can use the else statement with the if statement to execute a block of code when the condition is false. The if-else statement consists of two blocks, one for the false expression and one for the true expression. This is the syntax of if-else statement in C. We start with if and the condition. We open the braces and we put a statement, a block of code. And we put else and we open the braces and we put a block of code. This statement in the if and condition is the true condition, and the statement in the else is the false condition. This is the true and this is the false. Look at the flow chart. We start our code. We have a condition. If the condition is true, we have a body of code, and we go to the end of our code. And if the condition is false, we have the else and the body, and also we go to the end of the code. This is how the if-else statement work. Let's see this example. We have I is equal to 20. If I is less than 15, we need to print I is smaller than 15, else we print I is greater than 15. Let's go, and I is equal to 20. 20 is greater than 15. The condition is false. We go to the else and we print I is greater than 15. This is how the if-else statement work. Now the nested if statement. Nested if statement, it means we can place an if statement inside another if statement. Like this syntax, we have if condition, block of code, else, block of code, else we put another if with another condition, and we have a block of code and else also. The nested if statement is used to put an if statement inside another if statement. And this is the flowchart of the nested if statement. We start our code, we have the first condition. If the first condition is true, we can put another condition, and if the condition is true, we execute this statement. If it is false, we go to the end of the code, and if the first condition is false, we put another condition. If it is true, the statement 3 is executed, and if it is false, the statement 4 go to the end of the code. Now let's go to the if-as-if later. The if-as-if statements are used when the user has to decide among multiple opinions. The CIF statements are executed from the top down as soon as one of the conditions controlling the if is true. The statement associated with that if is executed, and the rest of the CS later is bypassed. If none of the conditions is true, then the final else statement will be executed. If-else-if later is similar to the switch statement. We will see the switch statement in the other part of this video, and let's see now the syntax of the if-else-if later. We start with the if, we put the condition and we have a statement. We have also else if, a new condition and a statement, and else we have a statement. Like here we start, we have a first condition. If it is true, the statement 1 is executed. If the condition 1 is false, we go to the condition 2. If the condition 2 is true, the statement 1 is executed. If it is not true, we go to the else statement. This is how the if, else, if later work. Let's see this example. We have an integer I equal to 20. If I is equal to 10, we need to print I is 10. If I is equal to 15, we print I is equal to 15. Else if I equal to 20, we print I is equal to 20. Else I is not present. We'll start with the first condition. The first condition, I is equal to 10, it's false. We go to the else if. Here also the condition is false. We go to the third condition. The third condition is true. I is equal to 20. He print I is 20. This is how the if else if statement work. Now the switch statement. The switch case statement is an alternative to the if else if later that can be used to execute the conditional code based on the value of the variable specified in the switch statement. The switch block consists of cases to be executed based on the value of the switch variable. This is how the switch statement works. We start with switch, we put an expression. The expression here we can put, for example, if I talk about a character, we put, for example, switch character. If I need to talk about operator, we put switch operator. And we open the braces and we put, for example, case 1, 2 point, statement 1, and semicolon. New line, case 2, statement 2, semicolon, and finally it's end with default, statement, and semicolon. The default here is like the else in if else statement. Look at the flowchart of the switch statement. We start with case 1. If it is true, the statement is executed, and if it is false, we go to the case 2. True, the statement is executed. False, we go to the case 3. It is true, the statement is executed. False, we go to case n. And finally, default, the statement is executed. This is how the switch statement works. Let's see an example about the switch statement. We have here integer var equal to 2. Switch, the expression is var, variable, case 1. Printf, case 1 is executed. Break, we go to case 2. Printf, case 2 is executed. Default case is executed. We will see the switch case in the other video where I need to solve a problems, and this is how the switch case work. Now let's talk about the break. This loop control statement is used to terminate the loop as soon as the break statement is encountered from within a loop. The loop interaction stop there, and control returns from the loop immediately to the first statement after the loop. The syntax of the break is break and semicolon. It is used in the final of the end of the code. They continue. This loop control statement is just like the break statement. The continue statement is opposite to that of the break statement. instead of terminating the loop. If forces to execute the next interaction of the loop. The syntax of the continue is continue semicolon also. Now I need to make a small exercise. I need to write a C program to find the maximum between two numbers using the if-else. In this exercise, first of all, I need to declare two numbers, number 1 and number 2. In the second step, I need to tell the user to give me a value of these two numbers using the printf and the scanf functions. Third step, I need to use the if, and I need to put a condition. For example, number 1 is greater than number 2. If number 1 is greater than number 2, I open the braces and I need to put a block of code. For example, here I need to print that number 1 is greater than number 2, and the else statement. And here in else, if this condition is not true, we need to print number 2 is the maximum. Let's see how to write this code. And like all the C programs, we start with hashtag include studio.h integer main, and let's declare the two number integer number 1 and number 2. Printf enter two numbers, scanf %d %d because it's an integer, add number 1 and number 2. Now let's use the if statement to find the maximum number. If number 1 is greater than number 2, printf number 1 is the maximum. Number 1. Now else printf %d is the maximum, and we put the number 2, and finally return 0. No, the return 0 is not here. Return 0. This is our C program to find the maximum between two numbers. First of all, we need to declare the two numbers, and we need to tell the user to enter a value of these two numbers. And the third step, we need to use the if-else statement to find the maximum between the number 1 and number 2. This is all about the making decision in the C programming language. So like my video, subscribe to my channel, and I see you in the next lecture.